Alright, so got a new camera. It is a FDR Sony AX100 and it does 4K, so I'm just going to give it a little test here and show you the bikes in the garage, see how they look. This isn't the full quality because the SD card that I have in it doesn't support the full quality. I'll have to get one. I had one, but it's not working in this camera for some reason. I think it's bad, so pardon my voice a little bit, just a little sick I guess. But so we'll see how this looks. Give you some close-ups of the bikes. So here we have the 620. Do some zoom in on it. 620 with the custom graphics I got on it. Take a look at the jug on this thing. It does say 620 on the side of it. And it's actually the same jug that is on the 700 or the 685. It's just that the 685 has been bored out 5mm on the piston. So now this one does have a different excuse me, it has a this one does have the original or these ones have the Maicos slave cylinders for hydraulic clutch instead of the Bremos like the 500s usually have since 2004. Has the gold cup Bing, and of course this one here I have modified to add cooling fans. Same with the 700, and I got that little automatic trigger right there, so when they go past 210 degrees Fahrenheit that kicks right on, or you can do it manually. So these do have, the 620 does have a different PVL on it than the 700 does. You can see this one has a CDI, it's a gazebo CDI. And the 700 does not have that, it's a different ignition. So, come over here, we'll see the 1996 Maicos 440. It does need to have these seals changed. The front tubes. I have them. I just need to put them in. And that's where the gas tank's out the front of it, so I can do that. Has a custom head gasket in it from Cosmetics Gaskets. Cost me 20 bucks to have it made. That was a big issue with trying to get this thing running, was the head gasket. But once I had to rebuild it. And one unique thing about this bike is that it says Lorenz Merkel on it, as you can see here. So then we have the 700, 685 cc, brand new, 2015 bike. It's got the nice new kicker on it. You can see how thick that kicker is. It also, of course, I've upgraded the coolant on it. And I've also put the fans on it, but what was I gonna say about it? Yeah, besides the cooling fans, which are cool if you turn it on, but this one does have a different ignition than the 620. Yeah. It also has the Same hydraulic clutch slave here. The Maicos. The bigger ones do still. It has the gold cup. And of course the jug still says 620 on the side. It is definitely not a 620 though. Skid plate, I believe I put on from a Honda CR250. Of course, it also has the, again, kicks on the cooling automatically. And people always ask about these exhausts. They stick out the side a little bit. And that's because it's not the original. This is the original, brand new exhaust. HGS. I've taken it off of all the bikes. In fact, that one has the same, and so does the 500 over here. They all actually came with these HGS exhausts. I just taken them off because they do not have a spark arrestor, and I can't ride them in the riding area without one. So the lucky thing about the older bikes is there's a universal spark arrestor that I can get, the twin turbine from FMF, and those ones bolt right on. They go on pretty easily, fit up nicely. But for these newer ones, they're not like the vintage one, so I can't get that universal vintage one. So then I have to buy a CR500 one, and they always end up being a little bit lined to the side because of how because they're supposed to be obviously on the other side of the bike, so they're supposed to lean in more towards. And instead of messing around with it too much, I'm okay with it sticking out a little bit. And they're all like that. Fender broke when I accidentally kicked this thing into gear and flipped it over the one time. You can find that video online. I started up in a ditch and I put my foot down and I actually hit on the shifter. Flip the thing over. One thing about the 620 though is it does have they come with lights in the back. I took them off, but it does have a coolant overflow, and it does have this GPR stabilizer, which I have at one, which I don't use. I actually have one other bike with a GPR on it. This was going to be another 700, but now it might be a. I still have the engine for it. It's a 500. It's a 2004 500, but I took the engine off. It does have this WER stabilizer. So this one here may end up being a 660 at some point when I get that 660 engine done. Of course, you have the two old bikes. Both of these have primary chains inside the engine. In fact, we can probably even take a look at that. Look at the primary chain. So you can see in there is a chain. 2 row of chains in there. Both these bikes have that. Instead of the straight cut gears like the rest of them have. And both of these bikes are piston ports. As you can see, there's no reeds. These are the old bikes. Haven't ridden them in a long time though. Well, this one here, I did try to ride it recently, or try to take it out for first spin, but I need to fix the air leak. That one there should be fine to run. I just haven't ride it. Then you need to switch the front forks off it though. And then here we have the 83 with the CR125 front end disc brakes. A3 is one of my favorites. You can see here I also have the rear disc brakes that were welded onto the frame. Caliper. Had to have this long thing welded over so that it would head off of that, so it wouldn't flip around. Believe it or not, this actually works. This setup here works better than some other bikes as far as very clean. You know what I mean? Other bikes don't all do that as clean. That one does a little bit, but a couple of them actually grab a little bit, especially that one. That one's the worst. And that one's probably second bad, but this one's very clean as far as just working. Works great. As you can see, it has to sit. It was a Husqvarnas caliper that was cut in half and mounted off to the side. Works perfect though. These brakes are so touchy too. CR500 rear wheel with put Maicos bearings in it, because the Maicos bearings fit right in it. Then I can use the, I just had to have one special bearing, but otherwise the rest of it was just the regular Maicos bearings fit right in, so that I could use the Maicos rear axle. And here you got the front of it. Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite bikes to ride. It's very simple, reliable, runs great. 83. And then of course here we have here the 500, 2004. Runs pretty good. It's a good bike. You know, rebuilt, lowered first, second gear, just like all of them. Right now, this is the only one that doesn't have lower first, second gear. Even the 660 will have lower first, second gear. This one here, the 86, one of the nicer looking ones, I would say. It's a very nice looking bike. It's pretty clean. You know, got a new tank on and everything. Very nice bike. Then I got the mess, so somebody gotta clean this up. Come in here and clean up my shop here. But yeah, the 660 engine with the new bearings in the one side here. Need to clean that one up yet and fix that. Then I gotta do the gears. And of course, as I said before, new lower first and second gears for it. So somehow how bad this was, this clutch here. So, anyhow, yeah, so most of the stuff I probably have in other videos. Pretty sure I have. It's just that I just want to test out the 4K camera, really. I figured I'd give some close-up shots of some of these bikes here. See, it zooms in pretty nice from here. Camera. Of course, you got the tool chest and stuff. And little stickers. Tons of little parts and stuff. Got an extra swing arm right there for a 86 Maicos. Probably it's most likely a junk caliper. But pretty sure it's for an 86. And, that one leaks, that tank there. But they also have another 86 up there. This one's different though. Because look at this, it has chain rollers on it like that. But it's an 86. Swing arm, supposedly. Don't know why it has those rollers on it though. Like that. Well, so that's you can see my shop is right now is a mess. Got stuff lying everywhere. I gotta clean this place off at some point here, and then I gotta work on that bike, and at some point I gotta go down there and fix that air leak and that, make it two so I can give it a ride, and of course finish this 660 here. Really like to finish that bike. Get the rest of the pieces I need and put together, and I was debating on getting another frame for it, a blue one. Instead of putting it on a 2004, put it on like a blue early 90s and make it look like a blue Maicos. This is a blue. It's from the 90s and it's a blue engine. Might look a little weird going on that bike down there all red and changing it to say 660, but may also look unique, I guess. I have to fix that pipe too. So anyhow, well, let me know what you think of the quality of this video. Because some of my videos I'll probably try to use this camera when I can. Hopefully it has a good quality. Like I said, it should be a little better quality actually than it actually is right now. Just because I don't have a proper SD card to do the full capacity, but it can do so. But yeah, it's got some good zoom on it anyway. Alright, thanks.